He'll send this one away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return. They come out here in the eye. Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. They find some open field here. And the numbers with 824 yards, 9 touchdowns, though, good in that department.
When it's around the goal line, he's a terrific runner because he knows how to get there, and he can run through contact, run through trash, as we like to say. That's part of the reason he accumulates the injuries that he does, because he runs inside a lot and takes on those linebackers. But we're going to work on Jonathan Stewart in the offseason, get him healthy, and have him back ready to go for next season.
And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Vince Wilfork is a terrific player. The first thing you notice, obviously, is his size. But his agility will surprise you. He can play defensive end as well as hold down the middle as a defensive tackle.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Newton now to throw. He's going to looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
He's going to go up top again. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the safety, Kurt Coleman. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Nobody leaked. Big play. Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. Out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vince Wilfork in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Third and long, it's Newton. Surveying the field. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. The intended receiver was Corey Brown, and that'll bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep, the Texans' 4th-round pick, rookie Tyler Urban. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. That's taken on the 25. Ooh, with a juke. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They go back to the air here after the INT. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
Charles Johnson off the edge. A long day for any offensive tackle.
Osweiler, he's going to try and go deep again. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He finds his target, Fuller. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion. In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
And he comes back with one complete. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On first down, Osweiler. This will be caught at about the 6. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever... Touchdown, Texans! And that was just an old-fashioned scramble play, 4th and goal, and he willed his team into the end zone.
And I just don't know how, on the other side of the ball, you keep your composure. You account for everything. You defend everything. And this guy finds a way to make a play on you. Can you tell? That just agitates me a little bit as a former defender.
I know your hands are shaking. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for him.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him, unable to bring him to the ground. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They go play action with Stewart. Now Newton. He's got a man complete. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and now it's 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
They are going to go for it. It's Newton. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive. Found his guy once, tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. On 3rd and 1, Osweiler. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. No, not good here. Their field general is still down, and that would not bode well for this offense if he's unable to continue. Now following the interception, here's Newton. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. On 1st down, it's Newton. Caught on the left side by Ginn. Past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Ted Ginn, 69 yards. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Off the play fake. Here's Osweiler. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
Really nice connection on the corner route. This is a play where the receiver wants to set up the defensive back by moving him inside and then breaking back to the corner.
Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a play fake here on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney. Check 50. Set,
Running left is Miller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch with offensive.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Their big tight end, 27 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. Fozzie Whitaker now on the return. What a spin. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Stewart is the lone setback. Now a first down throw for Newton. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams, so your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and minicamps. You get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. From the red zone now, Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. J.J. Watt in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Back to throw, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. They go play action here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. And quickly they get to the line. Now Newton on 3rd and goal. That's caught at the 2.
Okay, I have to take a second here and talk about Greg Olsen, the tight end for the Carolina Panthers. 3rd straight year over 1,000 yards in receptions. And guess what? That's the first time that's ever happened in NFL history. 3 straight years by a tight end.
That's really something. Now 31 years of age. They're going to need him next year to turn it around because a very disappointing season.
Not the season anyone expected, least of all the Carolina Panthers, but he's a building block that they can go ahead and get back to form starting in 2017.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They come out here in the eye. They begin with a run by Miller. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing is Newton. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
15 yards through the air on a first down.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because it's almost always...
Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bryant Cushing. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. After the interception, here's Osweiler. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
All right, here we go.
Play action. It's Osweiler. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
On third down, Osweiler. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on fourth.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. On first down, Osweiler. That is caught at the 7. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, 28 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. And that score gives them a little more separation and a bigger lead.
A little more of a comfort zone now. They can do more things defensively, maybe take a few more gambles as they try to continue to extend their lead.
Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. One receiver left, three to the right. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The catch made over the middle by Gins. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Second down now after the pass completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That was a classic example. Of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They will go for it. Now Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. An incredible play there on 4th down. And even 60 yards.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on 3rd down plays. But when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying. And on that play, the prayer was answered.
On 1st down, Newton. Forced out to his left. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Andre Howe. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Offense trying to out of the gun. It's Osweiler. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage.
Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 29. A big-time play there for the Texans. 43 yards. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now it's Osweiler. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down.
Now the ball's out. Osweiler lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And they're going to go for it on fourth. Brock Osweiler staying on the field.
All right, here we go.
They're going on fourth down. It's Osweiler. And it is incomplete. Oh, well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No,
you know I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Carolina. Ted Ginn, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. All right, different topic here. 2018, the Super Bowl, traveling north, far north to Minneapolis. Early. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big hook up there. Osweiler to Hopkins. 41 yards.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They'll become a little more ho-hum right there. This is caught inside the 15. He got 29 yards that time. Back now at the home of Super Bowl 51, NRG Stadium in Houston. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Throwing again, Osweiler. That's caught at the 2. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. Incomplete.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on third down, Newton. He's got time. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There's no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way that he made the play, came across, and knocked it away.
Desperation time. Newton, fourth down. He's going to take another shot here. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Their dangerous wide receiver, 75 yards. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead. So it was fourth down. They go deep to try to pick up the first. They pick up more than that. They pick up a score.
I'm not even sure the analytics guys would think that was a good gamble. Fourth down there, going for it. But they pressed the issue. And not only did they complete the pass downfield, how about the run after catch that ends up culminating in a touchdown? That's a huge play.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. He's going to look deep down the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, they decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
They go play action now. Osweiler. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the safety, Kurt Coleman. So that right there was his second pick, but keep in mind, this is a guy who once had a rare 3-interception game in his career.
So what are you saying, that getting 2 in a game, that's like kid stuff for him? That's nothing. He's already done that, right? Been there, done that. You know he wants a third again.
And this will be incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. That'll bring up second down. 10 yards still left on second down. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect them.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jadeveon Clowney able to disrupt yet another pass play. His third sack of the afternoon. So the D-line's going to spread out. To throw on second down is Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And that'll make it third down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Third and long, it's Newton. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Quentin Demps. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Miller. And cuts out right sideline. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Have him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. And now following that play, we've got a man down defensively, one of the members of the secondary. And we'll just hope he's all right to continue.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. They'll try to run for it with Miller. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
A gain of 3, second down. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing, Osweiler. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Now Osweiler. Miller on the catch over the middle. It's a pickup of 17 there. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
All right, here we go.
Osweiler's going to throw it. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. And finding Fedorowicz. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And let's discuss Osweiler a little bit further. Obviously an interesting journey for him to get here to Houston.
Groomed in Denver and actually got to play some before he ended up making his departure to Houston. But after the Broncos won the Super Bowl, I think he was in search of his own team and his own destiny as maybe a Super Bowl quarterback. They gave him a great opportunity, and he took advantage of it and headed to be a Texan.
Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And the offense moving quickly to the line. From the red zone now, here's Osweiler on first down. And he's got it, Fedorowicz. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
And
he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller from 6 yards away. And the Texans will extend their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On 2nd and 10, Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Here's Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Can't find anyone open. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. And the D looking like they may blitz. One last throw here for Newton. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And that will write a finish to this ball game.